Fasting from approval. This episode and the next 4 episodes, 5 episodes included, are the Faith and Identity Reset Detox. What if the exhaustion that we feel isn't from doing too much, but from being watched, from needing to be liked, us needing to be understood, our need to be validated, and our need to be chosen? That's a big one. And what if the detox isn't a people detox, but an approval detox? Because when seeking approval is our goal, we start shape shifting, we start over explaining, we start negotiating our own boundaries and values, and we start delaying the version of who we're called to be that's really ready to be free. Today, we're fasting from approval. Hey, y'all, I'm Madison Samone Chase, also known as Miss Chase. I was raised by an incredible single mom who is my biggest fan and my BFF, my best friend for real, forever. I'm also a certified celebrity personal trainer, fitness and wellness expert, and sports and entertainment media host. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, raised in Dallas, built in Los Angeles. I trained at Juilliard with School of American Ballet, becoming the world's only 3-time ESPN Miss Fitness champion, appearing in more than 450 fitness DVDs and infomercials, and the first of the 450 DVDs was led by celebrity trainer Gunnar Peterson, or the GOAT, who is known for training the Kardashian family. As a celebrity personal trainer myself, some of my most notable clients include Robert Pattinson of Twilight and Batman, Chris Tucker of Rush Hour, and Amber Riley of Glee. As a sports and entertainment media host, some of my favorite red carpet moments and press junkets and after show reviews include chatting with Richard Branson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emma Stone, Tyler Perry, Viola Davis, Justin Baldoni, Issa Rae, and Tiana Taylor, because she is on a hot streak right now. And that's just to name a few. I share my accomplishments not out of ego, but to honor the millions of sacrifices my mom planted so that I could blossom and flourish into the woman I am still becoming. So if you're listening and or watching, pull up a digital chair, grab yourself a cup of hot or cold herbal tea, and welcome to my cozy home of Cut to the Chase at 8. A 15-minute micro-learning moment for macro living. I am so overjoyed that you are here, because this is where we explore and lean into life with our lived experiences, yours and mine, and where we invite lots of grace into this space because we're living in some really interesting times. We chat all about spirit, mind, and body health that is ultimately our wealth, in microdoses for macro living. Make sure you join me twice daily for just 15 minutes at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, because this is your 15-minute chance for your daily pause, for a cause, for clarity, wellness, and intentional decision making, and giving yourself grace, because how we start our day and how we end it matters. Each episode, my offer to you is 3 keys and 1 question to sit with, and hopefully encourage you to give yourself grace in this space with something practical, something grounded, and something you could carry with you. Wherever you're listening from, turn it up and tune in. And if anything you hear today pricks your heart or lights a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe and share this with someone you care about. And please leave a comment so this becomes a dialogue and not a monologue. And if you feel led, a 5-star rating. Now let's take a breath together. We're going to inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lean into today's episode of Cut to the Chase at 8. Let's cut the noise. Let's get clear. Let's get ready, set, grow, and go, and be great. The title for today's episode again is Fasting from Approval. Fasting from approval is not arrogance. It's freedom. And approval is not the compass. it's actually noise, really loud noise. So the detox question for today is, where am I still outsourcing my worth, my value, my identity? Where am I doing that? Part one, how approval becomes a habit. Approval addiction usually starts as survival, and then it becomes a dysfunctional lifestyle. Examples include people pleasing, over explaining, explaining yourself multiple times, fear of being misunderstood, fear of being disliked, fear of being left and left out and excluded. A time you did too much to be chosen. And sometimes there are times when we stayed quiet to keep the peace. And sometimes we said yes while our body was saying no. Here's the thing, you and I cannot build a free life on borrowed validation. Part two, approval addiction costs identity. When approval or seeking approval is our goal, we stop being honest with ourselves and everyone around us. We shrink our truth. We curate our personalities. We delay obedience, and we confuse being liked with being aligned. And sometimes we're in a season where we lose ourselves because we're trying to keep access. And that recently happened for me. And I had to let that go, let that group go. And sometimes there are moments when we realize, I'm performing. And is this really living? And approval or seeking approval, that's a receipt, but it is not a foundation. Part three, how to fast. Fasting is removing what feeds the addiction, so identity can be reset, and who you are and who you're called to be is reset. So here are things that we could do daily to reset. And this is practical plus spiritual in terms of your Holy Spirit. Here are some things that we could do. We could pause before responding. We could pray, fast, and reflect before processing with everyone and asking everyone their opinion. And we can make a decision without announcing, without posting it on social media. We could stop explaining our no. And a quiet boundary that changed everything is exactly that. You could stay quiet and create boundaries. And you can make a private decision that you made that is actually going to restore your peace. And staying true to that will become obedience. And that obedience should be louder than the applause and the likes and the comments and the engagement on social media or in real life. So here's our practical reset that we're going to do this week, that I encourage you to do this week. And it's a simple weekly action task. Number one, let's set and normalize a 24-hour no explaining fast. Practice short, complete sentences, no over justifying. Number two, one boundary without a paragraph. And this is me. Like, I sometimes over explain, over talk. My friend calls it, Cheryl calls it story time. So for me, I have decided that the one boundary that I'm going to set and share is, you know what, that doesn't work for me. I'm not available. Thank you, but I'm going to have to pass. Number three, one private win. Do something meaningful without posting it or announcing it. Number 4, have your check-in question, just one. The question is, am I doing this from my purpose-driven alignment or from needing to be liked? It's a popularity contest, and I am so thankful that I went to a performing arts high school that really shaped the core of who I am. And part of that was we didn't have the most popular, we didn't have the most likely to succeed. We didn't have any of that in high school. We essentially had people who were in different clusters, whether you were a dancer like me, a visual artist, or an art department, musical performance, and theater. We didn't have any of that. So it really shaped the core of who I am and who I'm still becoming. So the 3 keys in one reflection question for today. Key number 1, approval is a craving. And notice the cravings before you obey them. And cravings can have this insatiable appetite that we sometimes don't even notice. Key number 2, obedience is stronger than applause. And choose what is true for you over the optics and what it looks like. And ask yourself, are you being obedient? And sometimes that obedience starts with discipline that is set up and structured daily. And you work your way backwards from whatever your purpose-driven goal and alignment is. Key number 3, privacy strengthens identity. And protect what God is building in you because it's not for everyone. And work in silence, not loud on social media. Especially work until it's done, and then you start sharing and posting only after you have done the work and only after you've set boundaries for yourself. So the one reflection question today is, where am I still performing for approval instead of living from the truth in my purpose-driven life? And what would it look like to fast from that this week? So before you go, I just want to say thank you from the bottom and the top of my heart. It truly has been an honor and a pleasure sharing this time with you. And thank you so much for continuing to give yourself lots of grace in this space with me today. I am so genuinely thankful that you chose to step into this cozy digital home with me. So before you head out, let's quickly revisit our 3 keys and one reflective question from today's episode. Key number 1, approval is a craving. And notice the cravings before you obey them. And notice if you have an insatiable appetite for that craving. Key number 2, obedience is stronger than applause. Choose your truth over optics. And see where you are disciplined and or possibly need more discipline in. And key number 3, privacy strengthens identity. And protect what God is purposed and driven and is building in you. And our one question to sit with, where am I still performing for approval instead of living from truth? And what would it look like to fast from that this week? So if today's episode offered you clarity, insight, or even a pause for a cause you didn't know you needed, if there's anything that I shared today that pricked your heart or lit a spark, I'd love for you to subscribe. Share this with someone you care about or leave a 5-star rating. And please leave a comment so that this becomes a dialogue and not a monologue. It truly helps this space to grow and reach others who may need it. And before we close, I want to extend a gentle invitation. If you've been listening consistently and sharing and feeling called to move just beyond listening and want to join a community of like-minded people, I invite you to join the C3 Cut to the Chasers Champions Circle founding member. It's a foundational community who We're going to build and grow together and intentionally, and family members will help shape what this space becomes. And I'd be honored to have you be a part of that beginning. So thank you for joining me here twice a day for our daily 15-minute microdose for macro living. Let's close with one breath. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. and again at 8 p.m. Central. I'm Madison Samone Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase at 8. You are ready, set to go and grow. Let's be clear and let's be great. Blessings to you and yours. Until tomorrow.